Have you ever wondered why it is so difficult to forgive someone? That's the question we're going to answer in this edition of Dr. Todd Explains. Hello, everyone. I've been reading through Tim Keller's book, Forgive. And I'm not all the way through it yet, but it's it offers very good insights into the problem of forgiving people. Keller basically makes the argument that we struggle to forgive because we do not appropriate the basis of forgiveness, Christ's atoning work on the cross, as the foundation for our forgiveness. Now, in another video, I'll talk more about the Christian approach, but in this video, I want to particularly focus in on three non-Christian approaches to forgiveness, because as I think about my counseling experience, I find that Christians get wrapped up in these three approaches, and it really messes with their ability to forgive someone else. The first method, non-Christian method of forgiveness, Keller mentions, is called the cheap grace method. And in the cheap grace method, it really focuses on the therapeutic value of forgiving. Now, that's important, but that's not all there is. In other words, you need to forgive this person because it will be good for you. That's a true statement, but it focuses on you instead of the finished work on the cross that Jesus did for you. So it can lead to a victim mentality almost. So you got to be careful there. That's the cheap grace method. It also gives the impression that the person that's the offending party gets away scot-free simply by saying, "I'm sorry." So that's the cheap grace model. Then there's the little grace model. And this is the one I see a lot. In the little grace model, the victim gets to decide when the perpetrator has worked hard enough to earn forgiveness. The problem with that is it automatically puts the victim in a morally superior position. The problem with that is that person's a sinner also. And so what you typically see happening is the person will say, "Well, if you'll jump this high, I'll forgive you." The person jumps over it. They still hurt inside, though, the victim does. So what they do is they move the goalpost. "Well, I mean this high, I mean this high." And so it becomes this never-ending cycle of reparation, self-degradation on the part of the offending person. It's almost like the victim pulls the person close and then uses every opportunity to punch the victim in the face over and over again. And so that really doesn't help anyone. And then finally, and a lot of what I see there is the offending party, the victimizer, if you will, gets tired of it and leaves, and then the victim can stand triumphant and say, "See, I was right all along," yet they've shut off every concept to any contribution they could have had to the situation, assuming there was some sort of contribution, or any kind of responsibility that they bear for that relationship. And it also doesn't make them feel any better. So that's the little grace model. And then the third one is the no grace model. It focuses basically on revenge and getting justice served on the perpetrator. There's no room for forgiveness. Forgiveness is an obstacle to an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth kind of thing. So it's very difficult to navigate through, because the thing about forgiveness is, and this is what makes what Jesus did on the cross so amazing, is that it is so unnatural to us. If you smack me, I'm going to smack you. That's the natural human reaction to things. And so to be able to understand the depth of what happened on that cross really changes perspective for you. In another video, I'll go over the Christian response, but the idea kind of is, from Keller's perspective, is There's a vertical dimension and an internal dimension, and then a horizontal dimension. And it kind of goes along with the saying, he doesn't say this, but I've heard it before, you can't give what you don't have. And so if we have a real hard time on the horizontal dimension of extending forgiveness to others, chances are we've not really appropriated internally the forgiveness vertically that we've gotten from Christ. Well, I hope that this was helpful. If you like the work I'm doing here, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and that notification bell. And also, if you have any concepts of, I guess the way I would want you to interact in the comments would be this way. Talk to me about why it's so difficult for you personally to forgive someone. You don't have to get specific as far as situations, but think through that and then put that in the comments and we'll interact there. God bless. I look forward to interacting with you on the next video. Talk to you soon.